Hi everybody, I'm here to report on last night's brilliant 3-0 defeat by Greece at Hampden. I say brilliant because for the only time I can remember, I was actually glad we lost because we do not deserve to be in League A of the Nations League. I don't want to see us lose to the Spains, Germanys, Englands of the world in the next year or two. I'd rather be where we belong in League B. In fact, I'd rather be in League C because that way we might have a better chance of gaining entry to a major tournament by the back door as we did a few years ago. Because, well, in League A, all we're going to get are defeats mainly. So League B, good standard, might help develop the players, the ones that can be developed, but we shouldn't be in with the big boys. Last night we were totally outclassed by Greece, and they're not a brilliant team either, but they deserve to be in League A far more than we do. It was quite ridiculous to think about it, that for the first 20 minutes we were actually the better team, we had 3-4 decent attacks. McTominay, I think, hit a couple wide. The goalkeeper had one off his chest, I think it was. And then with their first proper decent attacking move, they actually scored in 20 minutes, and it was all downhill from then on. What's new? You think about it, that first goal, nice move up the right hand side. The ball is going to be cut back, and when you see it, the guy who's going to score is running into the penalty box. Grant Hanley, Donkey Hanley as I call him, who should be marking him, he's facing the other way, running towards his own goal. So when the ball gets cut back right into the path of the forward, Hanley has his back to him. He's about 5-6 yards away, but oh, well done, Grant. He actually turned round just in time to see the guy whacking it into the net. 1-0, basically game over, although we didn't realise it at the time. The game proceeded as it had been. They had more confidence, obviously knocked it about well, but we had a couple of decent attacks until just before half time, when the nail in the coffin was banged in, and this time it came from the left. Nice pass inside Christie, useless Christie. What's his name? Fat Tony Ralston did a sliding tackle and missed. Typical of him. The ball goes into the centre to the guy who's going to pass it on to the goal scorer. I know Andy Robertson leaves his position on the left side of the box to come into the middle, and so when the guy who's on the ball passes it, it goes to the guy he was marking, who's now totally alone. Young guy, lovely shot, what a finish right into the corner of the net. Absolutely terrible defending, that sums us up. Everything was looking bleak at that point, but the game was well and truly over within 30 seconds of the restart, when we were trying to calculate what we needed to do to get through. Although, as I say, I didn't want to get through. Within 30 seconds, it was all over because it all stemmed from our own faults again. This time, Christie out in the right wing, 20 yards from our byline, tries a dodgy inside pass, weak inside, headed for Kenny McLean, fat Kenny McLean. He gets the ball taken away from him by the Greek man. One pass, one shot later, and it's 3-0, game over. And obviously from then on, the Greeks were so confident, so capable, so comfortable, just passing it about, knocking it about. They could have scored more. We were lucky it didn't end up 6 or 7, actually. John Souttar actually stopped one from going in the net when he hooked it off the goal line after what's his name, Hanley, had been pushed over or fell over, and the guy was 1-1 with the goalkeeper, and he chipped it over Craig Gordon, but Souttar was running in behind and he hooked it away before it could get over the line. So it could have been much worse. But I'm so glad we did lose. We don't want to be in League A, it's just a nonsense. Let's hope it's a wake-up call for some of the players. Hardly any of them turned up last night. The manager especially, why does he keep playing the same tired journeymen who are never any good, and he's still playing them when they're in their 30s? I mean, look at it. Donkey Hanley, I've been going on about him for years. He's now in the 3rd tier on loan to Birmingham. 3rd tier, and I don't think he's even getting a regular game there either. So there's no way he should be playing. You've got guys like Jack Hendry who should be playing there, much younger, more athletic. why is he not starting beside John Souttar? That at least gives a basis of a central defence. Fat Tony Ralston, he can't even get in the Celtic team, and yet he's playing all the time for us. Okay, we know our two real right backs are injured just now, but at least give Johnson from Sturm Graz a chance. He might be able to do something better than Fat Tony. Kenny McLean still plodding away with Norwich. He was always a journeyman player, now he's in his 30s. I mean, there's another guy should never be given a start. At least when he was subbed, it was Ferguson who came on. Lewis Ferguson, much younger, more athletic, stronger, gets stuck in, got an edge to him. He should always start before Kenny McLean. It's just ridiculous. Christie out in the right wing. People, when I was young, used to call guys like him a sand dancer because he runs about a lot, he skips about a lot, he looks energetic, but he never produces anything. His final product is just not there. He's weak, he can't tackle, shoved aside easily. Just one of these posers, really. He should never start either. And as for Che Adams, well, he makes Drossers look like a Brazilian striker. The guy is an absolute dud. He couldn't even get into the Southampton team latterly when they were in the Championship, and now he's playing for mighty Torino. I bet you they're in the bottom three in Italy. So he's a dud. I think he scored 6 goals in 37 games. He has 6 goals, and he's supposedly our number 1 striker. Come on, do us a favour, Clark. In fact, we're always lost. I think, 20 minutes to go, 15 minutes to go. He actually threw on guys who should have maybe played at the beginning. Not all of them the one goal written off. He had Tommy Conway on. This guy, Hurst, never heard of from Ipswich, one of the worst teams in the English Premiership. And who was the other one he threw on? I can't even remember, there were so many of them, but he threw on 3 strikers when we didn't have anybody to supply the ammunition anyhow. Why not try a Tommy Conway from the beginning, or another guy, even Nisbet, something like that? Well, I've remembered the other guy, the young Hearts guy, Wilson. He was thrown on at the same time. Why throw on 3 central strikers and have 2 of them playing the wings? Just madness. He's not got a clue. Time for him to go. He's survived long enough after the dreadful 2 championships that we've actually managed to get to, and get to by the skin of our teeth as well. So he's got to go. Craig Gordon, he's done. We must have a better goalkeeper than him. He's absolutely done. His kicking is shocking. I think he's been trained by the same goalkeeping coach as Jack Butland when it comes to kicking out. He's absolutely horrendous kicks. So there's so many problems there. We've got some players that are decent players, talented players, but too many past it or never were any good, and in their 30s. So he's got to bite the bullet and get rid of these guys. He said before the game he was pleased. We've got a great blend of experience and youth. No, we've got a great blend of talent and absolute duds, people who have finished years ago who shouldn't be anywhere near the national team. That's what we've got, a blend of. So get the finger out for the next qualifying campaign for the World Cup this time. And last night I saw it was Denmark who are now in our section rather than Portugal. So I suppose that's something. We might get something from Denmark, at least at Hampden, on a good night. So it's Denmark, Greece again, and Belarus, and you wouldn't put money on us even coming second in that group. So bye-bye qualification for the World Cup unless our manager actually gets rid of some of these guys that have been around too long, been failures for too long, and yet he persists in playing them. On a positive note to end, great tribute to Denis Law, the brilliant Denis Law, the legend that was Denis Law, one of the finest Scottish strikers of all time. Oh, how we could have done with somebody like him last night. I saw Denis Law when I went to Hampden in my teens, and when I look at the dross that we've got now up front, it just makes you cry practically. In fact, Denis Law would have been better than Che Adams even 10 years ago, never mind, when he was in his 20s. So let's hope we can unearth at least somebody resembling a Denis Law, if not the real thing, for our future campaigns. But let's just forget about last night's disaster against a decent Greek team who are now in desperately gay, by the way.